Shis. I just want to take a moment to give a bichem abum to Rabbi Herskowitz. Chazal tell us there's a mystic of schar licha. Sometimes Mrs. Mekayim, the hitter Rav, and getting up early and traveling all the way from Lakewood down Safri, it adds a special chashivas. Mitzvah Shem Dvu Mayotzim Alev Nechlusen El Alev Natum Siyanta Deshmaya and the Eibshus will give him Arichas Yom Neshunim Toivim. Chuda Machta, I want to thank Moshe for taking care of it, arranging it, and for Tzvidov, who's Zayim Nishdu, but he's here in spirit, Ziche, that he's behind the whole Shir, the Shiurim, the legal holiday Shiurim. The Eibshus will give him Gezind Nachas Vanus and Achuvas Adas. Herskowitz.
One begins by speaking about the Arsanya. I had the privilege of meeting the Rebbe previously in Baltimore. I was living in Baltimore for many, many years. Although initially I come from Williamsburg, but I was in Baltimore for quite a few years, and I had the pleasure of meeting the Rebbe over there. I'm familiar with Rebbe's brother over there, much more. And it's a good for me to come here and speak to a tzibur. Additionally, why would I come? Why would I schlep from Lakewood? I am not known as a public speaker. It's not my forte. I'm a Maggid Shir, I'm a Mashgiach. I don't know about other such things. But to get up in front of a tzibur and to speak is not exactly my thing. However, Moshe Feivel is a mechutton of mine. You can't pick your friends, you can pick your friends, not your relatives, but I had to pick a mechutton, and Moshe would be on the top of the list anyway. So he asked me to come. I couldn't turn him down. So here I am, David Sullivan, that I could leave you with something that you'll enjoy hearing and benefit from hearing. He asked me to speak. He left the topic over to me, and I thought I would speak about the Yonei Shabbos. Why speak about the Yonei Shabbos? I had a Poshta Cheshbon. I had to teach a class once, although I was in TA, which is yeshiva for Bachim. I did teach girls for a number of years, quite a few years as well, in the afternoons. And I was once asked to teach a class of girls who was somewhat challenging. And they asked me to teach Hilchos Shabbos. Why did they ask me to teach Hilchos Shabbos? When they had someone else previously taught Hilchos Shabbos, a Talmid Chacham, and it brought out a lot of resentment in the Talmidos. These were high school girls, 11th, 12th graders. They weren't the typical Beis Yaakov girls, but they were frum girls from homes, and struggling as many do today. And I told them in Nile I would teach Hilchos Shabbos. But before I taught Hilchos Shabbos, I would teach about Shabbos. Because you cannot go into a class, or you can't speak to others about the do's and the don'ts of Shabbos if they don't understand what Shabbos is all about. If you don't have an appreciation of what Shabbos Kodesh is, then it's very difficult to comply with the don't do this, don't do that, and so on. As a matter of fact, I told the class, I said, in addition to the fact that I speak about Shabbos, there's a lot of do's about Shabbos, a lot of things you're supposed to do about Shabbos. They're not so difficult, not so challenging, and we get into that, then we can move further along the line. That was one reason I want to speak about Shabbos. Another reason I want to speak about Shabbos is because I had a conversation recently. I was learning with a bacher, a Talmud of ours, who's in Eretz Yisrael. He's his third year in Eretz Yisrael. He's learning in one of the top yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. He's a fine bracha. He got a fine bracha. Talmid Chacham Lamden. And we're speaking about Shabbos Kodesh. And he said, and I said to him, I saw Koil b'Shem Baalei Musar. If you want to know what your Olam Haba is like, examine what your Shabbos is like. Because what your Shabbos is like is an indication and a reflection of what Olam Haba is going to be. And this Bocher, on the other end of the telephone, says to me, Rabbi, I don't understand that. You have a person who he learned the whole week, he learned like he's supposed to, he goes to davening, basically from the Yagid, and he doesn't get all excited about the Shabbos Kodesh. This is Olam Haba diminished because of that. What did he do wrong? So I told him that I just recently seen a big yisoid from Aaron Kotler. Just talking about Aaron Kotler quotes the Gemara that says that Kodesh Baruch is misaveh. Kodesh Baruch has this desire for tefillos of tzaddikim, that tzaddikim should daven to him, and therefore Kodesh Baruch made that Avrohom and Sarah, Yitzchak and Rivka, Yaakov and Rachel were unable to have children initially. It was only after they davened that they were able to have children. So partially you understand that, you don't understand that Kodesh Baruch has some desire, if you could say so, Kaviyachal, and he wanted tzaddikim to daven to him, and therefore he gave them reason to daven. Rabbi Kotler said that that's not pshat. Can I move this over a little bit this way so I could look that way when I speak about? I don't want you to feel left out of it, I'm sorry. So, the Rabbi said different pshat. The Rabbi Kotler said like this: Avrohom Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, they were great. They were phenomenal. They're beyond whatever we could. Because Baruch Hu wanted to elevate them further. And therefore, he wanted they should daven, because by davening you elevate the person. Through davening they're going to become elevated, as great as they were. Alaf Gedu Losam, in spite of the greatness that they were already, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to elevate them to a higher madrega. And they'll be elevated to a higher madrega through the Koach of Tefillah. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it, they should have reason to daven, and therefore they were unable to have children, and they davened, and they had the children, but they would have the children anyway. But this way, by davening for it, they were elevated beyond that. I said to this Bacher, I said, I believe Shabbos is the same thing. Shabbos elevates a person. So I said, you take it right. The person who keeps Shabbos and learns and he does it right. But to be elevated to a higher madrega, Shmini Shabbos elevates a person to a higher madrega. I told it. There's a niggin that people sing nowadays. It's very popular niggin. The words were written, and I think the music was written over 200 years ago by Aaron Hagodl, Aaron Kalina. And the niggin is Ko Efsoif. And they sing it. Maybe familiar with it, right? There we go. Right. So let's look at the words. I took it from the article. Ko is Kodesh Baruch Hu. Efsoif Noyam Shabbos. I yearn for the sweetness of Shabbos. What is Shabbos? Hamas Emes. It fits. It's like the modern Hebrew is matim. It fits. Misachedes. And it joined together with Skula Sechel, with Klal Yisrael, where we had the Kodesh this week. Klal Yisrael is Skula of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Shabbos fits them, and appropriate for them. And we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mishoich Noyam Yirasecha. Extend, Mishoich, means draw. Draw the pleasantness of your reverence, article says. Yira really means awe and fear. Or fear and awe. So give this sweetness of Yirasecha la'am to a nation, Klal Yisrael v'vakshu tzelecha, who seek to please you. Kadchen b'kedushas haShabbos, make them kodesh with the kedusha of Shabbos. Hamisachdat b'soyasecha, which blends together with the Torah. And p'sachloyam noyam v'lotzen provide for them the sweetness and desire if Toyach Shayr Tzeinecha to open up the Shiurim, the gates, that they will find favor in your eyes and they will be able to achieve what they want to achieve, what they need to achieve. Those are the words. Now, Shimshon Pincus in the Sefer, in the Sefer Shabbos Malkasa, he bemoaned the fact that when it comes Pesach, in the Olam HaYeshivas, people are learning Maral, Semet, Tzaddik, trying to get a handle on Pesach. And on Shavuos and on Sukkot is the same. However, the Shimshon Pincus says, come to Shabbos Kodesh, it's like a little old woman sitting on the side, no one takes an interest in them, and Kodesh. Shabbos Kodesh, we don't take an interest in Shabbos Kodesh. But here you see from this thing that there's a tremendous koyach in Shabbos Kodesh. Shabbos Kodesh is called, we have this yearning for it, we have a yearning for Shabbos Kodesh. You may not know the translation, what you're singing, but that's really what we're singing. We're yearning for Shabbos Kodesh. And we're saying that Shabbos Kodesh, we have a connection with Shabbos Kodesh. And we're saying that we want to experience the sweetness of the fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Since when does one have a sweetness in being in fear or even in awe of someone else? Needs to be understood. And then we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kadshay, make us Kadosh with Kedushas HaShabbos. What is Kedushas HaShabbos? So what are we speaking about over here? That's what I want to speak about. What is Shabbos Kodesh? What's in it for me? Pasuk says in Parashat Emor, Pasuk said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, V'adei Hashem asher k'yois v'k'roi kodesh, the Yom Tovim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu Elohim V'yadoi. These are my Yom Tovim. And he goes on to list the Yom Tovim. Immediately prior to that, the Pasuk speaks about the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. V'nikdashti b'soich b'nei Yisrael. I wanted to sanctify amongst Klal Yisrael. And from there we learn out, amongst other things, the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. Dying on Kiddush Hashem. But Mefarshim explained the proximity that right before Yom Tovim we have the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem, because the purpose of Yom Tovim is also to bring out Kiddush Hashem. To bring out within us a Kiddush Hashem. Kiddush Hashem does not mean to glorify God's name. Kiddush Hashem means for us to experience and to absorb Kedusha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When one dies on Kiddush Hashem, he's absorbing within himself and going up to Shamayim with that Kedusha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not a way of promoting Judaism, God, and the type and that. No. Kiddush Hashem means to absorb within myself Kiddush Shamayim and to go straight up to Shamayim. That's when one dies on Kiddush Hashem. And first we explained that that's the purpose of Yom Tovim. The person should absorb the Kedusha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu through the Yom Tovim. But what's interesting is the Pasuk says, V'adei Hashem, these are the Moyadim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the first one listed over there is Sheish Yom Tas Machtecha, work 6 days. And then you have Shabbos Kodesh. Now Shabbos Kodesh is mentioned many times in Torah Kedosha. But why is Shabbos Kodesh listed with the list of Yom Tovim? Shabbos is Shabbos. We know there's all the Yisur Malacha and everything else that goes along with Shabbos Kodesh. And Yom Tov is seemingly in a different sphere. And over here the Torah Kedosha is tying together, putting Shabbos together with the Yom Tovim. As a matter of fact, after it says the mitzvah of Shabbos, then it goes again to say Elam V'adei Hashem, the following are the Yom Tovim, and then it goes to Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot. But the question is, why is Shabbos listed with Yom Tovim? I think the answer is, I want to say this at the front end. I'm not a big Talmid Chacham. I know a little bit, but I have good Rabbi. I heard from them. So I want to share with you what I heard from my Rabbi. I had wonderful Rabbi. I was privileged. And I want to share with you what I heard from them. Translation of Yom Tovim is not a holiday. Translation, not even good days. Translation of Yom Tovim is days of good. Because Baruch Hu is mashpia. Every day really is good. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu at different times of the year is mashpia. He infuses Klal Yisrael, and through Klal Yisrael, the rest of the universe, different koiches. Pesach time one, Shabbos another one, Yeshua's another one, and Sukkot another one. So all these are days, Yom Tovim are days of good hashpah, days of goodness. The source of all goodness of the Yom Tovim is Shabbos Kodesh. Shabbos Kodesh is the ultimate source. We say in davening that Shabbos is Kiddush Mikol Hayom, Ve'achnu Mikol Hayomim, Kiddush Mikol Hazmanim. Shabbos Kodesh embodies within it all the hashpahas tovos of Pesach, of Shavuos, and Sukkot. So, therefore, when the Torah Kedosha wants to tell us about Yom Tovim, he introduces it with Shabbos first, because Shabbos is the embodiment of everything you're going to find in Yom Tovim are all there in the Shabbos Kodesh. So Shabbos Kodesh is really a Yom Tov, a day of tremendous hashpah, where Kodesh Baruch Hu rains down upon Klal Yisrael, kol mini hashpahs. I should just tell you that it's very important to recognize that. You know, children, when they have any oifuk, the kids are all over the floor, picking up the candies and everything else, filling their pockets with the candies. Shabbos Kodesh is a time where a person can fill up his pockets with all the tremendous hashpahs that come down. And on the side, I will tell you that if you look in some of the Shiurim, I suspect the Rav must have some listing of that. And you'll see different parts of davening take the person up higher and higher and higher, up that the tefillahs go up over there. And if you look at that same siddur, you're going to find that by Ashrei Volotzion, there's Yeridas HaShefa, where the Shefa comes down. And I don't remember who I saw point out the fact that some people, are there for the beginning of davening, and they go all the way up, that tefillah go up, and then when it's time for Yeridas HaShefa, for the Shefa to come down, they'll have shul already. They're not there to get it. It's their loss. Because they daven, they said the Shmonesha would come on, before that would come on, they said the whole Pesuk Zimra filler, and then they dodge out of shul, and the Shefa's coming down and looking for Shraga Herskowitz, and he's not there. Well, it's undeliverable, the address the unknown. So it's important to be there for the whole davening so that you get the hashpah coming down as well. That's just as an aside. But that is why Shabbos is listed with Yom Tov. And if you take a look, what is the Yom Tov Pesach? Yom Tov Pesach is about Cherus, freedom from slavery. Shabbos Kodesh, the Pasuk says, 6 days you do all your work, and Shabbos you rest. And the Gemara says, what do you mean? 6 days you do all your work? How do you know I can accomplish everything in 6 days? The Gemara says, when Shabbos comes along, in your mind, everything has to be done. And the Shiurim, Shiurim brings down the Shiurim who asks, what do you mean? I'm negotiating a contract, I'm in the middle of a contract, I break 2 hours before Shabbos, 3 hours before Shabbos, I go home. But it's still on my mind. Why do you mean all my work is done on Shabbos? Come Shabbos, all my work is done. And Sfasema says that come Shabbos Kodesh, I realize that everything that happens in the world is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I have to go through certain motions and I have to do it. But ultimately, where does it all come from? It comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So if it comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, come Shabbos Kodesh, I'm a free man. I don't have to work. Pesach is Chay, which is freedom. Shabbos is even more than that. Shabbos, I realize that I don't have to work because HaKadosh Baruch Hu does everything. I come tell you, I have Korah of the Amunah, my faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I get to understand who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. I get to know who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. On Shabbos Kodesh, I develop a kesha, I develop a connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then I have to be tochen, I can trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bitochen, you could claim and sing all about bitochen. You first have to have the amunah and understand who and what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, and then you can rely on Him. Then you can put your trust in Him, and then you trust Him that He's Papa knows best, He's going to take care. So that's what you get from Shabbos Kodesh, much more than from Pesach. So the Chayus of Pesach It's right there in every Shabbos Kodesh. It's there for us to get from that. And then you got Shavuos. Shavuos about growth in Torah. Growth in Torah on Shavuos. So you'll take a look in the Mitzvah of Shabbos Kodesh. It says Tegalim Peskomim V'Semer Chidusha. There's special koyach on Shabbos Kodesh. That if we learn on Shabbos Kodesh, there's a mistaken belief that you don't have to learn on Shabbos Kodesh, or you can cut back your learning. It is true, it's essential Chanach, that those who learn full time, they learn deep on Shabbos Kodesh, maybe learn a little bit. I don't know, I have to be careful how to say that, and maybe I should just not say that. But Shabbos Kodesh is a time to learn, and if you look at the verse of Shabbos Kodesh, it says, Tegalim Peskom V'Semer Chidusha. On Shabbos Kodesh, you could be mechadish things in Torah Kedusha. On Shabbos Kodesh, you have an insight into Torah that we don't have a whole week. And then it says later, like these are right. Revu Yatu Yasge Leilam and Darge. For a person is capable up to here in his learning, his intellect, his everything about him can take him up to here. On Shabbos Kodesh, he can rise up to there. On Shabbos Kodesh, his level of learning, his connection with Torah, can grow much higher than during the week. So Shabbos and Shavuos gets its Kedusha from Shabbos Kodesh. And Sukkot is a time of Simcha. You know, Sukkot is a time of Simcha. There's no mitzvah of Simcha on Shabbos, the mitzvah of Einig on Shabbos. And yet the Torah, and yet we all say in davening, Yitku Malchuscha Hashem Shabbos. But that's because there is no mitzvah to be B'Simcha. But if a person understands what Shabbos Kodesh is, a person understands how HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu dictates, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is taking care of me, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so concerned with me, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking out for me, and he's the Melech of the world. The Melech means that the whole world happily follows what HaKadosh Baruch Hu dictates, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu instructs. Yisrael Malchuscha, I'm going to be so happy with that. Recognizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If I'm Shemei Shabbos, Einig Shabbos, I do have Einig Shabbos, it's Sudas L'Kabel Shabbos, it's Shabbos Stika Sudas L'Kabel Shabbos Kodesh. I experience Shabbos Kodesh as one should. So really, all of those Yom Tovim are in there in the Shabbos Kodesh. So that's why I say, Ko Echsoif Noyam Shabbos. I yearn for the geschmack of that Shabbos. It's a tremendous geschmack that I get out of the Shabbos Kodesh. That's what I'm singing when I sing Ko Echsoif Noyam Shabbos. Again, the article translation. I long for the pleasure of the Shabbos, which is marked in. It blends in because Shabbos Kodesh and Klal Yisrael, we blend together our Shabbos Kodesh. We blend together our Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's why I ask Kodesh Baruch Hu to help me with that. But that's only the beginning of it. Then there's something more than that. There's something more than that. There's a lot more than that. I just want to. I wrote things down because my wife is always telling me, finish what you said. Don't go jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, which I sometimes tend to do. And I'm following my wife's instruction. Yitzi will tell my wife that. He'll report back. Yitzi and I go back many, many years. We were in Talmud in Shiurim, Nachman and Yaakov Fuchs. Also, we spend a lot of quantity and quality time together. Baruch Hashem, it's part of my children's life, really. That's the way it is. I want to say something else. For example, Shabbat day is Shabbos. Shabbos by day we say B'Shomer. By night we say B'Chulu. Shabbos we say Shabbos morning we say B'Shomer. And what do we say that? We say Beini V'Bnei Yisrael Oishi Lo'olam. It's a symbol between us and a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu says Beini V'Bnei Yisrael Oishi Lo'olam. Between me and the Kodesh Baruch Hu. That implies it's a private thing. I have a relationship with my wife, and I say something, or I look a certain way, and we have that relationship. We understand each other. It's a private, it's a personal thing. No one else knows about it. And we go through life, and we lead, and Baruch Hashem, lead a very happy life, Baruch Hashem. And it's a relationship over there. Beini V'Bnei Yisrael. That thing between me and my wife. It is what it is. Beini V'Bnei Yisrael. Because Baruch Klal Yisrael have that. And then we say, Kishesh Yom Hashem Shema B'Aretz. Because Baruch created the world in the 6 days. The 7th day He rested. What's it? So Medrash says that Kodesh Baruch Hu gave the told Klal about Shabbos Kodesh B'Tzina. B'Tzina is a private. It's a private thing which Kodesh Baruch Hu Klal Yisrael. What's so private? To Goyim know that Shabbos Kodesh is a day of rest. They picked up on Friday, they picked up on Sunday, but the concept is not unknown to them. It's not unknown to them. I don't think so. So how do you understand it? It's not such a personal thing. It's not such a private thing. It's public knowledge. What happened over here? The Rashba, the great Rishon, the Rashba, who's everyone who learn Yeshiva, you're familiar with the Rashba like this, the Rashba like that, and the Rashba Chiddush, all that. But the Rashba says, oh, here's another Chiddush that the Rashba said. He spoke about Shabbos Kodesh. The Rashba says, he said that he's sorry about mitzvahs, and he uses Shabbos as an example. He said, when the Torah gave us a reason for a mitzvah, it's like a dot in an infinite line. It's the reason for how HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah Kedoshim, every mitzvah, and whatever mitzvah accomplishes, he said it's like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's infinite. The reason that the Torah tells us is like a dot. And I was thinking to myself, if I have a line 1 inch, how many dots does it take to make that 1 inch? A whole bunch of dots. And this is infinite. It's infinite. So there is one dot. He says that is Kishesh Yom HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world in 6 days. But certainly there's something much deeper and so much greater than that Shabbos Kodesh. The Chaim HaKadosh says the same thing, but he says a little bit. He says it from a different way. He says that Shabbos Kodesh is a side. It's a secret. It's that personal language between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that personal relationship. But if the Goyim ask us why we kept the Shabbos, well, I'm going to it's not for you. No, we don't talk. They're happy with that. They go home, they make their own days. But Shabbos Kodesh itself is so much deeper and so much greater than that. But this is just what we tell the Goyim. The Goyim have to know Kishesh Yom. But the Yid has to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu entrusted us. When he entrusted us, he privileged to us, the Melech Malchei HaMelachim, the ultimate creator of everything in the universe. He has a relationship with us that goes to exclusion of anybody else. Akum Shabbos, how good keep Shabbos is Chayav Misa. The Medrash, the Zohar that compares this to a Melech and a Malka, Matruna. They're sitting facing each other, and they're just communicating visually. They're communicating, and a stranger walks in the middle and walks between them and breaks that. He says, Chaim Misa, what are you doing over here? Why do you have no shaykhs with this? Why do you get in the way of me and the Malka? A Goy is not allowed to keep Shabbos, but we even have to appreciate what Shabbos Kodesh is. Shabbos Kodesh, it's not a day to kick off my shoes and just chill it out. If the Chalal has nothing to do with that. It's a day of tremendous kesher and geschmack. And yes, it's an avodah, but it's avodah of geschmack. It's not avodah of melacha. Melacha is laborious and that type of thing. Avodah is a geschmack. It's a geschmack to have that relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's geschmack. I can sit down and eat the Shabbos Tika Suda and know HaKadosh Baruch Hu is present in the Suda. And my conduct at the Suda reflects on the awareness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. That's why I speak about the table. There's mirrors I sing, how I speak to my family. You know, Shabbos is so critical that the Yetzer Hara has this tremendous desire to break that relationship. You know what the Yetzer Hara does, says the Gemara? He tries to bring anger into a household. Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos is a time that's like a danger time for, it's like some kind, they have time when there's a drought or drought, however you pronounce it, and they tell you there's a fire danger, and you can't smoke over there, you can't drop anything over there, because Shabbos Kodesh could break out to a fire of chaos, Chas v'sholem. That's why it says that don't kindle a fire in your house on Shabbos Kodesh. Because every Shabbos Kodesh, you don't want to have a fire. Why? Well, you don't want to have cars. Yeah, cars is a terrible meat the whole week. But Shabbos Kodesh, we have Kodesh Baruch Hu, us and Kodesh Baruch Hu get together. Who wants to come in with cars into that mountain? A chosn had a fight with his boss, and he walks into the Yichud room with his collar, and he's fuming about his boss. Something's wrong over here. Something wrong with this relationship. You're here with your collar. Shabbos Kodesh would be very shlomen. But that's what Shabbos Kodesh is. Shabbos Kodesh is a tremendous relationship. Like the Satan Hashem Kehal Goyotos. Like Chalta by type we say in davening. Going up no shaykh with that. It's us and the one Hashem, no one else, and that's it. And that's type of shaykh. Coach Baruch to bring Noyam Yasecha. Give me the sweetness of Shabbos Kodesh. Give me the sweetness of this relationship. I want to understand it. I want to know more about it. But there's more to this also. Friday night, we sing Kol HaKadosh. Many people sing Kol HaKadosh. Kol HaKadosh. I have a different thing I sing at home, but this is one that people are familiar with. It's the Yeshiva Shenigim for Kol HaKadosh, right? Okay. And tell them there, Yon Kodesh Hu, Mi Boyei B'Tzeisai. Shabbos is Kodesh from beginning to end. It's wall to wall Kedusha. It's not like I kind of slip into it Friday night, I make it to Shul Shabbos morning, and if my nap, I'm getting ready for my outing with Shabbos. Shabbos Kodesh is Kodesh mi boy oy v'atzeisai. It's a relationship that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. No one's looking to cut it short. Shabbos Kodesh is one shtick. It's mamish. It's one shtick Kedusha from beginning to end, and not to rush out of the Shabbos. But certainly, while Shabbos is still, and when according to your clock, it's still Shabbos. It's Shabbos, not Shabbos. It is Shabbos. I remember I once spent a Shabbos in Hot Springs, Arkansas, amongst all the hillbillies. I used to live in Memphis. I went to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I went there for Shabbos, on the lake, in the whole bunch, whatever. The hillbillies were hillbillies. I walked around with my Borsalino hat, wide rim, and the whole thing of their Shabbos morning, and they just kept that bed like that, and they looked at me, and I didn't bother looking at them because whatever. But I'm not sure quite why I really went there for Shabbos, but I did that. But I saw within the difference, the relationship that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's not shy. It doesn't get better. And that be boyoy b'atzeisai, it gets stronger and stronger. Incidentally, in the Beis Hamikdash, when Klal Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu were, let's say, on good terms, the Keruvim on top of the Oren faced each other. When they were not in good terms, they faced away from each other. So nice. Now the Baruch Hashem is ready to destroy the Beis Hamikdash because of the Chaton of Klal Yisrael. I guess we're not on a good base with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And the Goyim came into the Heichel. And what did they find? They found the Keruvim embracing each other. I'm sorry? The Meurim Zebazeh. They were embracing each other. They have to take leave. They're embracing each other because it's not something that they were looking forward to, the break. They wanted to stay together. Okay, they got in the way. But Lemaisa, the end of Shabbos is really, you have to hold on to it as long as you could. But the Amy says it goes more than that also. Because it's not the same level of Kedusha, whole Shabbos. If you know, on Yontif, except for Musaf, and even Musaf, with the exclusion of the insert for the carbon, all of the tefillahs are the same. That's it. Not belittling that at all. But as far as you explain, Yontif, you're not on the same Madrega whole Yontif. The Kedusha is enormous. Shabbos Kodesh. It starts with Ata Kedashta, and goes Yisrach Moshe, then goes Ata Echad, Sh'imcha Echad, Mikam Echad. It's one. It's one thing that keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. There's a lot to say if one wants to learn through the meaning of the Shemona Esrei on Shabbos. We'd see more about it, but this you could just tell from the fact that it's a different Shemona Esrei, because it's a different approach. It's a higher approach. It gets more and more intense. Friday night you say Vayichulu. Take a look at Vayichulu. You're not going to find word Shabbos Kodesh in Vayichulu. But in the morning, B'Shamu, you're going to find Shabbos Kodesh, because Friday night it's coming off the 6 days, and the 7th day Avodas Kodesh, but it's coming off of the 6 days. But Shabbos Kodesh, it's that relationship of Kodesh Baruch and Klai, so that comes out into the open. Then Shabbos Kodesh mentioned, there's no Shvi mentioned over there. But Shom B'nai Yisrael HaShabbos, it's all about Shabbos Kodesh, that relationship that we have with Kodesh Baruch. But it's even more to it than that. It's a very interesting line in Kol Mekadosh. Kol Mekadosh you say, Oya Hashem, those of you who love HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaMechakim who are waiting b'Binyan Ariel for the rebuilding of Beis HaMikdash, don't worry, Yom HaShabbos cease to the Simcha, rejoice on Shabbos Kodesh. The Rabbi was kind enough to offer me a little schnapps and Zionist before I got up here to speak, which I appreciate. Things go better with a little bourbon.
One shot a day.
It stays one.
It does. It does. But it stays one. So he said, "Oh Hashem, you wait, Beis HaMikdash. You don't on Shabbos Kodesh." That's like the Rabbi, instead of drinking me the schnapps, he'd say, "Can I show you a good rashba? I need a schnapps to help me get up here and speak like this." A guy is hungry, you say, here's a good piece of music to listen to. It doesn't. What's it? What's it? I'm waiting for Shabbos. I'm waiting for the Beis HaMikdash. Why is Shabbos supposed to make me feel good? So I want to tell you very simple. When I was in school, they had biology books. And biology books had, where they spoke about the human body, they had a blank piece of, a white piece of paper. They had the outline of a body on it. And then there was a piece of a plastic page with a clear plastic with some drawings on it of the bone structure. You have another one that had the veins and that stuff. Then another one with the digestive. You put it all together, that was the human body. But each one in itself was something in of itself. Together it all makes up the human body. Because when he created the world, he created a world that's there's topography, there's the world as you know it. He created time, as you know time. And he created the people, the Neshamas, Kedusha. Just to give you a very simple example. During the week, you have, let's say, space-wise, you have Chutz La'aretz, you have Eretz Yisrael, you have Yerushalayim, you have Kodesh, you have Habayis, Ta'azorah, you have Kodesh, you have Kodesh Kadoshim. During the week, you have Chol, Rosh Chodesh, Chol HaMoed, Yontif, and Shabbos Kodesh. The reason machlokes could be whether Yom Kippur is greater than Shabbos or not, but we're going to assume for the purpose of this discussion that Shabbos is greater than Yom Kippur. So you have that. And then in terms of people, you have Yisrael, you have Levim, you have Kehanim, you have the Kohen Gadol. On Yom Kippur, the second holiest time of the year, the Kohen Gadol, who's the, in terms of people, Klai, so he's the top, he's the hierarchy, and then you have Kodesh Kadoshim. Once a year, the Kohen Gadol goes into the holiest place. Because these three spheres all have their different levels, so to speak. So in Kol Mekadosh saying, Hashem, you who love HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're waiting for the Beis HaMikdash. We don't have the physical Beis HaMikdash today. You have Shabbos Kodesh. B'yom Shabbos, cease with simcha. On Shabbos Kodesh, rejoice. Because on Shabbos Kodesh, you are in the Mikdash of time. You are in the Mikdash of time. And that is why before you went to Beis HaMikdash, you needed tefillah. Before Shabbos Kodesh, one should go to the Mikdash. I have to tell you, there's a sefer written on Hilchos Shabbos by the Masei Mechaber of the Chai Adam, Avrohom Danzig, with the Talmud of Billy Goyen. He wrote another sefer, Zidichov Toras Moshe, all about Shabbos Kodesh. At the very, very beginning, he writes about the importance of going to mikveh Erev Shabbos Kodesh. He said, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, you go to the mikveh. If you prepare yourself for it and you live the whole week like a Yid is supposed to live, you go to the mikveh, you're going to come out feeling and knowing that you've just been elevated to higher madrega. And he says it's boduk umenusa, it's been tried and tested. B'harbe anoshim, b'harbe zmanim. It works. That's a chshivas of going to mikveh Erev Shabbos Kodesh. But that's a chshivas of Shabbos Kodesh. Shabbos Kodesh is mikdash. Before a person went into Beis HaMikdash, he went in with trepidation. How far can I go? But you know what the good news is? In time of Korban, we could all go in. Kohen, Levi, whatever you want. You could go all the way in. You could go all the way in to the Mikdash. I'm going to tell you something else. That not only that, Shabbos goes from level to level to level. The Kodesh Kadoshim of the Mikdash of Shabbos Kodesh is Mincha time Shal Shuddis. I don't mean Mincha is down 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Mincha before Shkia, that time, it's the greatest time. It's a Kodesh Kadoshim of Shabbos. And Shal Shuddis. Let me explain you something. Let me tell you a Zohar Yitzi. The Zohar says, and if you look in this mirrors of Shabbos, if you see Neichel, you know, Yitzi and I tell you, Yitzi is, we're good. We're tight. We're tight, except I don't want to strangle him. But it says over here in the mirrors of Shabbos Kodesh. It says over here, it says, take note of the fact that this time of the day, you know, during the week, Mincha time is the time of Midas Hadin in the world, which was on Pizayah. If you're late for Mincha, don't say the Ashrei after Shemini Esrei, but take the time to say it beforehand, because Masech Sedecha, which translates you open your hand, but it's also a tefillah, open your hand. And once you say Shemini Esrei, Midas Hadin is present, and you don't want to ask for it, Midas Hadin, so wait. But it says on Shabbos Kodesh, the Rav of Leizav comes on Shabbos Kodesh, the Midas Harachmem, the Midas Hadin is pushed aside. And matter of fact, the Zohar says, Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter from this world, and Kosh Baruch to Moshe Rabbeinu out of this world, Mincha time, late Mincha, he took him out late. Why? Because then there's no Midas Hadin in the world, and no one should think that had so much of a din aveir that Kosh Baruch took him out, because Midas Hadin required that Moshe Rabbeinu take leave of the world. There's no Midas Hadin then. He was nifter when there's no Midas Hadin. Not just Shabbos. Shal Shidas time. I think they have over here, and this in most of many Siddur, they have Tikkunei Zohar. And in Tikkunei Zohar, it says, here we go. It says that this time of day, that Mincha time, Shal Shidas time, is only Rotzain. Ubahai Rotzain is Talib Moshe Via, and Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter doing this Rotzain. Begin Lameda, so it should be Laminda. It should be known that Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter not because of din. It's a murdic time then, the Shabbos Kodesh. So Shabbos, we say, Meshech Nam Yesecha, Kadshem Mikdushas HaShabbos, Kodesh Baruch Hu, make us Kodesh Mikdush Shabbos. We want to experience the Kedusha of Shabbos. Open up for us. We want to be able to daven for you. I want to tell you a little secret. Some people don't talk a Holy Yom Kippur. Some people don't talk a Holy Yom Kippur. There are Sforim, HaKadoshim, the one with the small print. I don't have the rest eyes, so I rely on Sforim who quote from us. That the Tiferes of Shabbos are the equivalent of the Tiferes of Yom Kippur. Yeah. Now I want to tell you something else. Everyone knows you don't make your own bakoshes on Shabbos Kodesh. I want to tell you take the slot in this photo. That by Mincha time, you can ask what you want. Why? He gives a moshel. When it was made from the Lechvich and Moshe Botan. The king need a vacation from his duties. So he went to be another king. He's not going to go to a Best Western. He went to another king. He was there for a week, and every night the host king, or no one of his children, made a party in honor of the guest king. And after the party, he thanked him and so on. The last night, the youngest son made a party, and he went over to him, thanked him afterwards, and the son says to the king, "Can you do me a favor? My father and I don't always get along so well. Maybe you could speak to my father." Explained to him. The guy said, "Of course I'll speak to him, but why'd you wait till now?" She said, "You came here for a vacation. I didn't want to burden you with that. But now you're going back anyway. Maybe you could take care of it for me." Shabbos Malkasa, which is really the Shchinak station. We don't want to burden the Shabbos Malkasa with. And the truth is, on Shabbos you don't have to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for anything. Because on Shabbos Kodesh, we're all bonded together, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're connected to a vending machine that's got everything. You're connected to the Koyach Kol HaKoyches. You're connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whoever you is connected on Shabbos Kodesh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But sometimes a person feels he wants to ask something. I'm telling you now, the end of Shabbos, there's the greatest Kedusha of Shabbos at the end of Shabbos. One should not stand around schmoozing, look at the clock, and checking that if they're ready to go hit the shopping or hit the shows or hit that stuff. No! The end of Shabbos is a murdic man Kedusha. One once told me she had physical challenges and she used to daven for it during Shalosh Shudas time. While her husband and kids were singing Mizmor David, Hashem Roi Lechza, Gam Kielech, Begeit Hamoves, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear not evil, for you are with me. That's when she used to, that's when she would daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She had beautiful children, beautiful husband, the husband that's happy to that. That's when she davened during Shalosh time. It's a tremendous time of davening. That's what we daven. That's the end of the Ko'echsev. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, open up for us the gates. We should be able to achieve Gashmias and more important Ruchnias, and we should stay with it. Mosev Chayso, two Shabbos, they'll be redeemed. What's the two Shabbos? So, for that, I think a Tzaddik says, you have a Shabbos that you keep like you're supposed to. And mainly the coming week is a stronger week. The next Shabbos is based on that stronger week. It's not based on a It's not like a weekday. It's a weekday that followed the Shmaka Shabbos. So now that Shabbos is a more powerful Shabbos. That second Shabbos could be Mashiach. But that's the Kehal of Shabbos Kodesh. And we have to build on it. Now, I just said a lot of things. And maybe you think I'm this holy Jew who, whatever. Rabbi Yitzi, my friend Michael, they sat by my Shabbos table. They didn't know they'll know I'm good old Shraga Herskowitz. But I wanted to give over what I heard from my Rabbi, and Kodesh Baruch Hu, we should all be zeichet and hakabi Shemei Shabbos. That's what you find a person. A Shemei Shabbos. Shemei Shabbos sees the Shabbos. Shemei Shabbos means he waits for the Shabbos. We should be Shemei Shabbos. We should be zeichet to the Yom Shekula Shabbos from Helev Yameinu.